First of all, you don't know me.
We're all about that high school drama girl, all about them high school queens. We'll take you for a ride in our comic girl, cheering for the right team. Drama queens, smart girl, rough girl, fashion but you're tough girl. You could sit with us, girl. Drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens.
You guys, welcome to another one of our totally sweet, totally random bonus episodes where we just answer fan questions. We all just sent out a tweet that we wanted your questions because we're all getting together and like hopping on the phone. Joy's in an airport.
Honestly, I just love our commitment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just flying across the country, but I'll still be there at 8 a.m. It is very early today, everyone.
So rather than send a question, someone just sent us an article from 2016 that says, let's discuss this insane One Tree Hill fan theory about Chris Keller and Dan Scott.
What?
Have you heard about this?
No. Wait, I'm looking for the tweet. There's so many questions.
It says one of the most nauseating characters on the show, besides Dan and Deb, was Chris Keller. People are suggesting that he's another one of Dan Scott's illegitimate sons.
No.
How could this be? Oh, also when he met Dan, Dan said he reminded him of himself. Interesting. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I buy that theory. It's a small town, but this small?
I think the king of the small town having two children with people other than his wife might be aggressive. Although, I don't know, Maury Povich has been on the air for a real long time. Isn't that the whole storyline of this show?
Not the father.
It's like a paternity test every week, right?
Also, Chris Keller was supposed to be older than us. So does that mean that Dan was skirting around like as a sophomore in high school? Maybe. Wild.
Know.
I don't know, guys. Anyway, that was a fun way to kick off this bit. I love like a news headline. I'm such a sucker. What questions do we got, babe?
You know what I think was actually really sweet? Somebody just asked, oh my God, they're coming in so fast. I'm starting to lose them. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, well, I've lost it in the feed, but somebody said, was there a character that you would have liked to end up in a couple with but didn't? Is essentially the question.
Are you going to answer that?
100%. I mean, look, we all know who our characters' end games are, and that's great. We watch the show. It exists. But I think it's no secret, especially as we're rewatching seasons 1 and 2, that I am an enormous fan of the would-be relationship between Brooke Davis and Marvin McFadden.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh,
we
got Joy.
There
Joy at the airport. I think she's going to co-sign on that answer.
Don't you think?
Yeah, we're reading our tweet questions, Joy. What airport are you in? LAX?
I'm at LAX. I'm in the Tom Bradley terminal. Can you guys hear me? Because I've got my headphones on, but there's no, I'm just using the computer speaker.
Yeah, you actually sound pretty great.
Oh, great. Okay.
And you look cool too.
I know. I'm like, how does your hair do that?
Dude, what? It looks awful.
What are you talking about? Every time we get on Zoom, I'm like, how? Mm-hmm. Last week, you looked like you rolled out of the 70s. Today, you're like, I'm a mess. I'm at the airport. And I'm like, if that was my mess, I'd be so thrilled.
Oh, I love you guys. No, I'm still trying to put myself together this morning. But you know what I have to say? My hair is sort of the one super fun constant in my life that I can always play with. I can always no, you know what I mean? It's like I can always change my look. It's fun. It's fun playing with hair. Anyway, what are you guys talking about? What's going on?
Well, Sophia just asked a really good question from a fan.
Yeah, we're reading the fan questions, and I was just saying the tweets are coming in so fast. I'm actually like losing them in the thread. But somebody asked if your character could have ended up with any other character, like aside from your endgame couple, who would it be?
And we gave the disclaimer, no one's allowed to get mad that we're not rooting for our endgame. This is just a hypothetical.
Yeah.
This is for fun. And I was just saying, especially given the episodes that we're watching, I mean, the time capsule. Oh, Senator McFadden. I just would have loved to see a broken mouth.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. Oh, yeah. I would love that. Did you have one, Hilarie?
I haven't answered yet, but mine is skills.
Damn, I was thinking about skills.
Damn. Hold on, are we gonna have a love triangle with skills?
Yes, please.
Oh my God, yay. Honestly though,
that is a reboot I would watch. Just gonna throw it out there.
The spiral that Peyton always goes on, I feel like Skills has the capability to pull her out of her bullshit and be like, calm down. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, relax.
Well, if you get Skills, then I want BG. I want Jake Jagelski.
Wow,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
You could just sing together all the time.
All the time. We just live a life of musicians and just travel and raise babies. Oh,
and never wear shoes. You guys would just be playing guitar and tapping your feet.
Okay. For it.
Yeah, we're on to something, gang.
Are you guys on Twitter scrolling through? Sorry everybody out there if it sounds. Can you hear that high pitched beeping? I can try and mute it, but I'm in the airport.
No,
so
it's ambiance because now everyone at home feels like they're in the airport with you.
Oh yeah,
and we're on a layover together, baby.
Coming to you live from the Tom Bradley Terminal.
I like it because this is usually what happens when the three of us are on FaceTime. Always one of us is in that little FaceTime square running through something. And so,
Hilarie's got 5 plates and she's feeding children and goats and Sophia's on a set, shoving food in her mouth. They're calling for her and she's like, but I'm here talking to my friends.
Hold on, just 1 second, just 1 second.
The last time I sent you guys a video, it was in the school pickup line getting Gus, and I was in a rental car, so he didn't recognize me. And I'm like, Gus, God damn it, Gus, I'm over here. I could have hit pause on the video, whatever.
You hated the world that day, man.
Oh my God, I was going to fist fight everything. So, okay, so.
I have a good one here.
Yeah, do it.
Because it's super relevant to the episodes we're in the midst of now. Mari-san is asking, since Joy was touring, how much did she know about the storyline? Because you guys were out on the road. Did you have any idea what the rest of us were doing back home?
No idea. No idea. In fact, I was just watching a little bit of the last episode and the whole Jake and Jenny thing. I mean, I knew that there was Jake and Jenny and Nikki. I knew that was happening around Peyton, but I didn't really know that storyline. I completely forgot that Brooke moved in with Karen and took over Lucas's spot, which is so cool. Totally forgot about that. And the Anna thing, I knew it happened, but I didn't actually watch any of this stuff. And this whole thing about Lucas finding cash and ledgers and Dan's doing super spy stuff and Dan's motors. So none of that stuff. No. And I never saw anything about what Nathan was doing when I wasn't on the road.
Aww.
I mean, they sent me the scripts. I think I was Tyler and I were out touring. I think I was just kind of well, if I'm not in it, I'm not going to read it, which was dumb of me at the time.
That's a very Antoine thing of you to do.
It is, but now I wouldn't do that now, but
I'm trying to remember if they even emailed us the scripts. Did we get scripts emailed to us or did we get hard copies?
We got hard copies, remember, because we had leaks all the time. So
but also, did we have email back then? I can't even remember.
Remember, this is actually a crazy thing I haven't thought about in years, guys. When the show was on, we had so many leaks happening and hacks happening. People were hacking into email accounts of producers on our show, which, by the way, just disclaimer, so inappropriate. If you have to hack somebody's account, just don't. You're not supposed to be there. Respect boundaries.
Rude.
Very rude. But people were stealing scripts. And so they started giving us scripts on red paper because you can't Xerox red paper.
Yeah.
And there were all these weird security measures we were going through. They were sending out fake sides.
I feel like that started with the Nathan and Haley marriage, when it was the big surprise that they got married. That's when those red pages started, I think.
I haven't thought about that in so long.
I just remember being what dork is I'm gonna ruin this surprise. We were a Marvel movie or something.
I was if you're a hacker, don't you want to go, I don't know, work for the government to do something cool? Don't you want to code like the next spaceship? What are you doing?
Be a whistleblower, man, not a trio ruiner.
Hello?
Oh, I have a good one, guys. This is funny.
You do?
Okay. Elevator pitch your characters. Go. Come on, that's so funny.
I know my elevator pitch on Peyton.
Yeah.
Grumpy cheerleader with lots of dead mothers and relationship and boundary issues, but good taste in music. Done.
Great. Haley James, overachiever, super sweet, kind of repressed, and the girl next door. I don't know. I'm boring. You go.
No, that was gentle and like loving.
Yeah,
we
like
love
that.
Haley.
It's funny. I was going to use girl next door for Brooke as well. I do. I think she's the popular girl next door.
Yeah.
Who has grown up with absentee parents, learned to validate herself with all the wrong things, men, money, etc., and is coming into her own, learning to replace external validation with internal confidence.
Ooh, what a journey. What a journey.
So meaningful.
That's where we're at currently.
Okay,
Oh, wait.
speaking of characters, though, Sammy wants to know, silly question, but which Disney characters do you think your OTH characters are most like?
Oh.
What's her face from Enchanted?
Oh, yeah. Dude. Is Enchanted a Disney movie?
Yeah.
Am I an idiot?
Yeah, Amy Adams and Enchanted. It's definitely Disney.
What's the one in Hercules? Who's the really grumpy chick in that? What's her name? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
The
who
one
is she?
she's like,
Don't talk about love.
yeah. If there's a price for rotten judgment, yeah.
Megara.
I don't know. Whatever, man. That was me. Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
Super grumpy.
Haley might be more like Moana, I think, actually. Is she a Disney princess? I guess she is technically a Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, love
Who's
Moana.
Brooke?
I don't know. Who is Brooke?
Brooke is the blonde chick from Princess and the Frog who Miss Charlotte LaBeouf, who's like, I need some man catching beignets.
Honestly, even in an animated world, all I ever want to eat is a beignet. So that feels right.
I took Gus to New Orleans when that movie came out, and we went to a restaurant, and he ordered, I'd like some man catching beignets.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's perfect.
Disney. I don't know. Who would you say, Soph? Do you get to see many Disney movies?
No, it's been a minute since I watched a Disney movie. I mean, I don't know. All my favorite songs to sing are from The Little Mermaid, but that's probably just because of nostalgia. Brooke Davis never sang. So
Great songs in that. And yeah. What else?
Yeah, but Brooke Davis wants to be more than just a princess of the ocean. She wants adventure. She finds her voice.
It's Brooke Ariel.
Oh, Brooke is Ariel.
It makes me feel very emotional. Okay, I have a good one, especially because on our elevator pitch, you talked about Peyton's love of music, so it feels lightly tied together. It's not quite jumping the shark to move on to this next one. If Vic wants to know if you guys had a song that represented your character, what would it be and why? And especially because your characters were so rooted in music, was there a song or did you, like, every season feel like you had a song that represented Haley or Peyton?
Oh man, that's tough. I'm going to go into my iTunes library right now and browse for a second. I don't have any that come to mind.
You know what song I sang in my head all the time while we were filming? You know, I was like a huge Donnie Darko fan.
Mm-hmm.
And that song, Mad World, you know, like I find it kind of funny. I find, that the
Tears
dreams
for
in which
Fears.
I'm dying are the best I ever had. You know, like those lyrics were so Peyton Sawyer to me. And like, there's a Donnie Darko element to Peyton Sawyer where she's just always right on the brink of making like terrible choices. Yeah.
Mad World.
Mad World is beautiful.
Mad World. Is Brooke looking for the heart of a Saturday night? What's Brooke?
Yeah, what's your vibe, Brooke?
God, I don't know. What I do for every project, I always make a soundtrack for a character, so that I have just something to immerse myself in that puts me in a mood. And we did our show for so long that I made so many. I feel like every year I would make a new playlist, but I think the one that always comes to mind first for me is that song from The Breakfast Club, because we did that sequence in later years where they our director purposefully wanted me to do that 80s Molly Ringwald dance, but do it really badly. And it's become like such a funny thing for people.
It's become an iconic thing for Brooke.
Yeah. I remember when it first happened, people were like, wow, you're not a good dancer. I was like, this is on purpose. This was a choice.
You're a damn good actor.
I'm an actor. But yeah, that kind of really gets me, especially because our show has become a sort of iconic coming of age story. And that's how I felt as a young actor about The Breakfast Club. It's the movie that I have watched probably more than any other coming of age story movie. So it feels fun to have like a little thread.
Love that.
Yeah, that was super fucking cute. Joy, what's your song, honey?
I'm gonna go with Pageant Material by Casey Musgraves.
Oh,
yes.
Because I think that fits for Haley. You know, she's in a small town. She really wants to please everybody, and she wants to do what's right and be liked and fit in. But at the end of the day, she's just like, I don't know what to tell you. I ain't pageant material. Like I am who I am. And I do love that about her.
Did you ever do pageants?
Never. No. Did you?
I did one as a joke.
No.
Senior year in high school, my job, I was like school president, so I had to read the morning announcements every morning. And so I read this morning announcement that was like, contestants for the Miss Loudoun County pageant meet after school on Thursday. And I was like, Miss Loudoun County pageant? I'm for sure doing this. And so I gothed out, like wore the black dress and a lot of heavy eye makeup and went and was like kind of a dick about it. But I ended up placing third. So, huzzah. And that's like my big claim to fame. I used to put that on like resumes and stuff as like a joke. Third runner up in the Miss Loudoun County pageant.
I love you so much, Hilarie. I can't.
So grumpy.
All I'm thinking about when you say that is the excerpts that you showed us that you used to write in people's yearbooks in high school. And I'm like, this tracks. It's so good.
There's pictures. Go after life with a roar, like a fierce, full run, straight ahead roar. Yeah. Like that's how you tackle life, and apparently how you've always been doing it. And I love you so much.
It's the small town thing where it's just like, oh, we're so bored. We're so bored. What are we going to do this weekend? Well, we could pee on the 50-yard line at the football field, or we could go do a pageant.
I love it.
Make poor choices, kids. You guys, we should do a pageant. We should do, they're only for young girls. Why don't we host a 40 and Fabulous pageant?
I love that plan.
40, flirty, and 30, flirty, and thriving. What's our 40?
Yeah.
Fabulous and
40 and feisty.
40, feisty, and fabulous.
I like feisty.
Done. What other questions do we have?
I love it. Oh, this is a funny one, especially when we think about timing of things like email and high school pageants. Sarah wants to know, when we see cast members using phones in scenes, are those your actual phones or prop phones?
It depends. They're usually props, but sometimes your phone will fit the same case as the set phone, and then you can switch it out and use your real phone while you're in the scene. So
oh my God, I could not do that. I would be so distracted.
Would you just turn it off? I mean, there's just so much sitting around. You end up for like a, half hour in between setups and stuff sometimes that it's nice to be able to have your actual phone with you. But
I find
most of the time, it's just a
people get in less trouble now on sets I think because of phones, because before we just used to have to like talk to each other and like make out and make terrible choices. And now you can retreat into your world and like talk to your friends or your manager or like someone that's going to keep you out of a predicament.
Well, now you're not as isolated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were very isolated.
That's true. It's hard though. I don't like having phones on sets, to be honest. I feel like I much prefer reading a book or talking to people because it really drives me crazy when people are disengaged because it's a major distraction. You just get on your phone and then like whatever the text message was that you just received, when you're trying to do the scene, that the person is still thinking about, or if I've got my phone, I'm still thinking about what I've got to do when I get off the scene, when I get done with the scene to get on my phone. So I don't like bringing it to set if I can help it.
You know what I'm thinking about?
That piano?
That ragtime music that's happening.
Sorry, I'm trying. I'm trying to mute it. I'm sorry.
No, Joy, don't.
Is that an actual piano player or is it?
No, it's just like coming from the speakers somewhere in the airport. I'm going to walk. So you guys talk and I'll just keep this rolling.
I personally was enjoying it. I'm waiting for Joy to get up and sing along with it, as she's been known to do.
Hello, my sweetheart. Hello, my lovely pie.
Hi. Okay, so here's a question from Courtney. She says, if y'all could have chosen any guest star to have been on the show like full time, who would that have been? Man. I mean, that's a hard question because we loved our guest stars.
Yeah.
Loved them.
There's so many avenues. Like if we're thinking about mentors, I go back to thinking about Gerald McCraney.
Yeah.
If we're thinking about, other women we wish we'd had for longer, obviously Daniela Alonso. I think
Sharon Lawrence.
Oh God, how fabulous was Sharon Lawrence? I think if you do a show for as long as we did, it gets hard. It's like asking, I imagine it's like kind of like asking a parent to pick their favorite child. You're like, but I love them all.
Pick.
How?
All my favorites died.
Hilarie.
Yeah, Robbie Jones, right? Like, how great would he have been as a permanent guest star?
Oh, I thought you meant in real life. Oh my God.
No. But Cheryl Lee was like so dear to me and loved her so much playing Ellie. Colin Fickus, who is one of my dearest friends in real life, who lives up here in the Hudson Valley. Like, what a layer it would have added to the show to have him from the pilot till Jimmy Edwards' death. Maybe like, let's not kill him. How about that?
Yeah, how about
I think
that?
Colin added such a good layer to our show. And then, Robbie Jones, like, guys, everybody leaves or dies.
They will always leave. Oh, there's a question. Joy, do you have somebody? Sorry, I saw another question on Twitter. And
No, go for it.
So this is interesting on the topic of leaving. God, I don't know why I'm in the mood for a pun this morning, but I got
Girl, your segues are tight today.
Something's happening to me. I didn't sleep much last night. Anyway, Tessa is asking, what do you think Peyton and Lucas would have done if they'd stayed in Tree Hill?
Well, the only thing that happens when you're like happily ever after on a TV show and you stay is they have to break you up.
They have to cause drama in your relationship, so there's drama for the show.
Yeah, how can we destroy you guys? And so that's why I was like kind of content just to peace out.
I don't think there's a chance in hell that Peyton would have stayed in Tree Hill. I could see Haley staying, and I could see even Brooke like becoming a really like a pillar member of the community and really investing and just be, like falling in love there and getting married and building a life, or doing her business out of Tree Hill. But Peyton, Peyton had the same thing that you have, Hilarie, which is what I was just saying, like running at life full speed with a roar. That was in Peyton too, because you gave that to her. And I don't think there's any circumstance that would have kept her in Tree Hill. I can't imagine.
It was so weird. We were talking the other day about how our parents totally disengaged because like either production didn't want to pay them or they didn't think it was important. And for me, thinking about Peyton as being an adopted kid whose last remaining parent, like adopted dad, doesn't come to her wedding, doesn't walk her down the aisle, doesn't come to see her baby. It sets such a bad example for adoption. And I think it's like not realistic. Adopted parents, that's a really sacred thing. And I think most people take it very seriously. And we did not depict that well. And so it feels like rejection. Do you know what I mean? And so I feel like Peyton.
A big town full of rejection, right?
Yeah, it's a big town full of just like, you're
There's
not
a country
interesting
song
to
in
us.
there somewhere.
Girl, it feels big and sad, and I can't wait for you and Greenberg to sing that song together.
Like, I could see Peyton coming back, but there's something about her need. Yeah, like she could come back and as an adult, or like find something new to love and appreciate about the town. But at that age, at that stage, she had to get out. She had to.
Yeah. I think there's also something, it feels like something of a hero's journey for her with this set of experiences that she had and this belief, when we think about her art, people always leave. And then she has that, but sometimes they come back piece. It's like, I feel like Peyton needed to leave to see something else aside from the pattern that her life had shown her, to take that control, to change her own fate, to become, the captain of her ship. And then, if there's a time that leads her back, to Brooke and Haley, who are waiting patiently, that feels
Please.
Right.
There was a question that I saw in here that was like specifically about the three of us in real life coming back to Wilmington and how that feels. Because in the same way our characters either experience trauma or good memories in Tree Hill, the three of us also experienced all, the highs and the very lows in Wilmington. And I know when we go back for conventions, I always feel a little bit wiggly about it. I'm like, oh, who am I going to see? Where am I going to go? Because it could be awesome, or it could also be incredibly awkward. Do you guys feel that way?
Yeah, I do a little bit. I think it's mostly because I was so kind of in my own world. I knew our crew and like all of us that were in that little bubble, but I didn't make a lot of friends in town because I think I was mostly just on set or at home by myself because I just didn't want to be super social. I was already social all day on set, and being introverted, it was like a lot for me. So sometimes when I go back to Wilmington, I see a lot of people who know who I am, and they've had interactions with me at some point, but I don't remember, or like I didn't spend enough time investing in the friendship or relationship where it was just like maybe somebody that worked at a cafe or whatever. And I feel really like, oh my God, I know your face, but I can't remember your name, and I don't remember what we talked about when we talked. And so that's always feels a little like, I don't know.
It makes you self-conscious.
It makes me feel self-conscious because I want people to feel seen and known. And if I feel like I'm in a position where I can do that or make them feel the opposite, I always feel like I just feel horrible if I can't always remember.
We also were working 18-hour day, Joy, 18 hours a day. It was a lot.
Yeah. And look, I think that is one of the things that can be weird about what we do is the sort of uneven seesaw of someone's awareness of who a person is from their favorite show versus what anyone's normal awareness might be of, like, I don't know, somebody who they see once a week at the grocery store when they grab something, who you say hi to, but you don't necessarily know where their kids go to school or whatever. And so I have that too, that feeling of like, I should be better at this. And then I'm like, well, there's no way I can remember. A brain can't remember like 2,000 people perfectly.
There were so many nights out in downtown. How could one remember?
How could one? But I will say it was cool to find the friendships that we did. Like, Jane and Tricky especially opened a whole world.
Oh,
yeah. For me. And so when I think about, Aaron and Cody and Mary George and all my local friends there who I still see whenever we go back.
Yeah.
It feels really special But yeah, when I run into somebody at the co-op who's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, oh no. Sorry.
Dude, I just kissed so many waiters in town when we lived there. And I remember coming back when I was pregnant with Gus. When I was pregnant with Gus, the show was still on the air.
Yeah.
You guys were still doing it. And I went to The Basics, which was my favorite restaurant downtown.
Oh, God, I love that place.
And I'm there with my family. And this boy that I had been kissing the year before walks in. And it's like, hey, what's up? And I stood up and he was just like, oh. And that feeling of yeah, you've been gone, but you've come back and things are very, very different now, is always kind of how I feel. It's like the world's moving so fast that every time we check back in with Wilmington, everything's changed. So, but it remains a touchstone. Yeah. It's a good place to check in with.
Well, one of the things I will say that I love is because we've stayed tethered to it and to each other, I feel like we have done physically with Wilmington what we've done emotionally with our podcast.
Yeah.
We've gone back and kind of done the dishes. And we continue to go
to tidy up.
We love the places we love. And every time we go back, I feel like I love it more and I have less of a tremor of what was unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. All right, we got a question from Lindsay. This is, I guess this is true. So Lindsay says, when it comes to shooting car scenes, how does that work? Where's the person filming stand?
Oh.
When you see cars in the background, is that real or fake? Like interstate driving?
Oh,
That's a good question.
That's a really good question.
If we weren't in this business, we wouldn't know that either. Well, Lindsay, there's lots of different ways to shoot a car scene. One of them is to actually put a car on it's kind of like a flatbed.
It's called a process trailer.
That's right. Yeah, and you just put the car on that, and then the cameras kind of sit on either side of they just move the camera around the car, and then they pull, the truck pulls the car, and you just look like you're driving. Or you can put the car actually on the road, and the cinematographer, the camera, A camera, B camera sit behind you in the back seat, and they film from behind, shooting the road ahead of you.
And then they'll also do, so the car will be on the trailer, which basically looks like a big raft, and the car sits in the middle of it, and the crew is around the sides with railings to protect them. They'll put crew in the car with you when the car is driving. And then they'll also, there's two other kinds of rigs that are pretty cool. So the car will be on the road and you'll really be driving. And then there's this famous car that some stunt company owns. It's a blacked out SUV. And I think they have 3 of them now, and they cost an absurd amount of money. And they have a techno crane on them that's also blacked out. And so that car can drive next to you, and the crane can maneuver the camera from the back of the picture car, which would be the one of us would be driving, through down the side, around the front, over the top. It's like a whole crazy.
Is that how they did Ford v Ferrari? Because that movie blew my mind. I know there was drone shots, and I know there was some of it was people on another car, but that was beyond.
Yeah, that's how we used to do all of our high-speed chases in Chicago. And so coordinating with that car, you can do some pretty insane things if you have really good drivers. And then the other thing that they'll do too is you'll be on the road driving, and they'll have a extra wide kind of technically outfitted pickup truck that almost has a stair step on the back of it that a bunch of cameras can sit on, and that'll be in front of you so they can shoot, from the hood through the windshield. So a driving scene, that might be 4 minutes long could take all day, because you've got to be on the trailer, off the trailer, in the wide shots, in the close-ups. And then the cars on the highway behind you are all picture cars. Because
Joy and I, we have the exact same thought right now.
What is it?
Hilarie, go. You do it. You say it.
Are you talking about when we just cheat it in the studio and turn all the lights off?
Oh my God, that's the worst.
No, listen, you guys, Joy and I had to do a scene in the Comet inside of the studio. So they're like, the driving scene's at night, okay? It's dark outside. So what they do is they have one grip with like 2 flashlights run at us like it's headlights. So
From the side of the car.
You just get like, and then they like circle back and then they come back again. And it's
And
just
then
like
they circle back with a red light. So it looks like the brake lights in front of you go off.
And then there's someone else. Then there's greens shaking the bushes.
Shaking the car? Oh, shaking the bushes.
There's every once in a while there'll be like trees shaking that you're driving past. But yes,
and there's a fan. There's fans. If your window's open, you got to have fans on either side.
my God.
The window's
hair. Open.
And then someone will shake the car too.
Yeah.
There's somebody like just leaning on the back of the car, just like shaking it.
So Joy and I were doing this scene one night. It wasn't even night. It was the middle of the day, which is why we were cheating it inside of a big, huge studio. And I'm used to like driving and I'm trying to make it seem believable. So I'm doing all the things with my hands and I'm looking in the rearview mirror and I'm like using my feet on the pedals like one would. And because it's a vintage car, it's like very delicate. And when Peyton goes to brake, you know, they do this thing where they like rock the car. So Joy and I both like, you know, lean forward like we're braking really hard. And I actually hit the brake, which would turn the taillights on. And you hear from the back of the car, Dacious yelling, "Don't mash the brake! Don't mash the brake!" And everyone's thinking he's saying, "Don't masturbate." And everyone's like, what is he saying to these girls?
Oh my God. I totally forgot about that.
Sweet Dacious.
For years, they'd be like, "Hilarie, don't mash the brake. Don't mash the brake." Whatever.
Oh my God.
But Joy and I were just like, go out and drive. That's ridiculous. We could just get this done in 10 minutes inside. Yeah.
It's at night. Just drive the car into a stage.
You know what I always love to spot too is in older shows when they clearly shot the scene inside on a green screen.
Of course.
And then they just put nondescript city footage in post. And everyone has that little black like pencil outline around them because the green screen's bad. And you're just like, why didn't you go outside and just do this on a street?
I know. They turn the car and then the street behind them turns like a half second later.
Yeah.
No one will notice.
Oh man,
perfect.
that's a good question.
If there had been a Dawson's Creek OTH crossover episode, I mean, there kind of was. Chad and I were both in Dawson's together.
And James Vanderbeek came on our show.
Yeah, James came on our show.
Oh my God. Guys, the world is just
The world.
so synced up. Which characters do you think would have had chemistry, love interests with each other? Well,
that's fun.
I was very drawn to Busy Phillips when I did guest star on Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, she's fun.
She's got strong big dick energy. She's a
Really
powerful, fun girl.
Yeah.
And Peyton would have totally been swept up in her for sure. Because
I could see that.
She's fun. She's like a fun magnet.
Yeah, totally.
And I think Peyton would have seen her as like, look at all that light. I want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me in.
Yeah.
Let me be your dark side.
Lucas and Jen would have had a good chemistry. They're both broody and moody and tortured.
Oh, that would have been nice. I as soon as you read that question, I was like, man, and look, I will confess, I didn't watch Dawson's Creek all the way through, but in the early days when I did, my brain immediately thought, oh, Pacey's kind of like the male Brooke Davis. Like,
oh yes.
I think
sleeping
Brooke
with
Davis
teachers
and Pacey. What was his last name? Pacey. What was his name?
Whit something. Whitaker. Pacey.
I don't know. Well, whatever. Josh Jackson.
Whatever.
Josh Jackson. Can I say that name? I think. Yeah. Pacey and Brooke would have had like Pacey Witter.
Right. Pacey Witter.
Here it is.
Weird.
I think they would have had some great chemistry and laughs and like definitely gotten arrested.
Yeah.
And I will say, in real life, Josh is such a wonderful man. He's such a committed activist. Like the number of like underground, let's work on stuff and really make sure, when there are elections or social issues happening, there's groups of us that are like, okay, how do we help? And he's always first in that group with me. And so it's really sweet. Every once in a while, we'll be at like a protest or an organizing meeting and we're just like, man, remember what dipshit little kids we used to be in North Carolina? And now we're just out here trying to make the world a better place. So I feel that there's a real foundation there. I would have liked it.
Yeah, you guys have been dreaming. Who's Haley? Who's Haley drawn to?
I don't know. I mean, I guess Haley probably would have liked Pacey too, because the only other option really is Dawson. And I don't know what other guys were on that show because I didn't watch it long enough.
Kerr Smith was a babe, but he was super didn't like cute. Girls, right? Didn't he come out?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but did he come out right away?
Yeah, I mean, Haley could have tried. That sounds like something Haley would have attempted.
That does sound like something Haley would have done.
Yeah, because Dawson feels like it would have been too similar. I think Dawson is too similar to Lucas for Haley.
Like same sides of magnets. You'd be like,
yeah, exactly. That
was a fun question. I liked that one.
A lot.
All right, we got time for one more. Let's see.
One more. Hit us.
This is kind of fun. Andrea says, whenever you gals did scenes on camera with a rival in an argument or a fight scene with another actor, is there any pre-briefing conversations of, I hope you know I love you and I don't mean anything of what I'm about to say or do? It's really cute. Like Meryl Streep famously did with Anne Hathaway before Devil Wears Prada started. Have you heard this story? She sat her down. They went out for a drink and she was like, I'm going to treat you very badly for the next 3 months. I just want you to know, don't take it personally.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But that's really smart. No, I don't think we had it. We never did have those because we all just hung out. We all kind of liked each other and were nice to each other. So I think that's just part of the business. You just kind of grow up knowing that you're just doing the work. You don't take it personally.
I think more than anything, at least I know I do this. Like if I have to fight with one of you or even on, Good Sam, like me and Sky have had to have these, ram smashing sort of scenes all year. And every time we do the rehearsal and then we have to actually, set up the scene right after rehearsal, my go-to is always, I don't like this. I don't like yelling at you. I don't like fighting with you. I think there's a natural inclination with your friends to say like, look, this feels weird, but it's also our job.
Rehearsal is a big, important part of it though. I mean,
yes,
because you're actually working together to solve a puzzle. So the audience is just, that's right. Yeah. The audience is just seeing they're just seeing a fight with two characters that they love, but that's our job, is to go in and piece everything together. So you're really working with the other person to choreograph this moment. So it's actually, in a weird way, you don't feel like you're fighting at all. You feel like you're dancing. You're doing something together,
Well, not always. I don't know. Have you guys ever been on the other side of it where like the other person's the alpha on the set and you're the one that's like getting yelled at and they don't do that thing of, hey, this is... Hey, do you want to talk in between setups? They're just like, okay, go back to your corner. And you're like,
yeah, I have. That sucks.
I don't like that.
It doesn't feel good. I won't say what job it was, but boy, did it suck.
No.
I'm going to tell you later.
You tell us after this podcast. I think for whatever reason, my brain is also thinking now, as we talk about this, about when you have to do not just arguments, but actual physical fights. How important rehearsal is to figure out how you're going to do that, how you're going to take care of each other. God, I wish I knew where the outtakes were. Was it season 3 where we got in a fight on Peyton's front lawn?
Oh my God, when you got hurt. Yeah.
Remember we did it over and over and over again. And
No, that was season 4.
Season 4. So
Paul,
we were fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and screaming and crying and doing all these things together. And then it was just one take where like, I don't know, we twisted the opposite way. We'd twisted the 16 times before.
It was really bad.
And it was your elbow in my skull. And it was a whole moment. And I just remember like falling over and you falling on top of me going, oh no.
That was really scary.
That was really scary. But there's something that's also so sweet about the immediate stop and hold and hug and like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? That actors will do for each other. Because sometimes you get hurt and it's not obviously on purpose.
Yeah.
I remember when I was making that movie, The Hitcher, with Sean Bean, and he was like literally trying to murder me. And in the middle of, he would be like literally beating the crap out of me, throwing me around like a rag doll. And I would never know when it was coming, but in the middle of a scene, he'd always pause. And, he had his like really gravelly, unplaceable American accent he was doing. And then he would pause and go, are you okay, darling? You're right. Okay, should we get back to it? Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then he'd like snap my, my face in a different direction. And I was like, God, what a gentleman you are.
Aww,
it was so sweet.
Awesome.
And it's funny to think that the people at home never get to see, those little moments we get to have.
The sweetness. It's all sweet. Joy, catch your plane, darling.
Love you guys. I got to go. Yep.
We love you so much.
That was fun. Thanks.
Have safe travels.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for all these great questions. Please keep them coming because this is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening.
Don't forget to leave us a review. You can also follow us on Instagram at Drama Queens OTH.
Or email us at dramaqueens@iHeartRadio.com. See you next time.
We're all about that high school drama girl, all about them high school queens. We'll take you for a ride in our comic girl, cheering for the right team. Drama queens.